What's up, everyone? This is Laptop Empires, the show that teaches you how to build and grow a business from anywhere in the world. I'm Brian Downard, and this is episode number 10. So today we are going to be talking about how to deal with unhappy clients. Now, this is a very, very important topic because as consultants, especially when you're selling services as a coach or an expert, your clients are the lifeblood of your business, and without clients paying you for your services, you don't have a business. Now, of course, we all want to avoid being fired and creating bad word of mouth around our business. So I want to quickly go through some things that I do in my business when I have an unhappy client, how I get them back on the right track, and when I know when it's time to say goodbye. So if you enjoy this video, I want to encourage you that you share it with a friend. Go ahead and click one of the share buttons and subscribe to my channel if you find this useful. So let's dive right into this. Think about it. When you've got a problem with a product or a service, you call customer support. For the bigger companies, even smaller ones, even for a car repair shop or things like that, and you expect when you're paying a certain level of service, and it's really easy to agitate you and get you in a state where you're unhappy and you're complaining and you're swearing at the person at the other end of the line. Now, it might not feel that way, especially when you have a smaller business, but your customers get that same feeling. They are paying you for a service or something, and if they're not feeling like they're getting their money out of it, they're not going to be happy. Now, what you want to do from the very beginning to avoid a lot of this, and we'll talk about this more, but you want to set very clear expectations. We want to let them know exactly what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be expecting of them, and make sure to remind them of that. That way it doesn't come a day when they're asking for something that you don't deliver, or the expectations don't make sense to them and they're coming back asking for more, or thinking that you're going to do something for them when you're not, or thinking something isn't done when it actually already is. So we're going to dive into this, and here's how you deal with an angry client. So thing number one is you want to address the issue right away. You want to pick up the phone, call them, get them on the email, whatever it is, because you want them to know that you actually care and want to solve the problem quickly. Now, if you go hide and you don't get back to them for a couple of days, or you sit on that email and you know that they're upset with something, that's going to agitate them further and solidify in their mind that you're probably not the right person, because you don't actually care enough to just reach out to them. Now, if it's possible and they're within a place that you can go drive to meet them or see them face to face, I also highly recommend doing that too. It's funny how some people, they just want a little bit of love and attention, to know that you still care and you're there and doing that for them. So what I do, regardless of my relationships with my clients and where they're at, all of them are happy right now, but I always call them once a week on the phone, even that's just to see how they're doing, see how business is, see if there's anything that I can help them with that just keeps them happy with me, knowing that I'm on top of it and that I actually care about getting them the results they want. So what you do after you address the issue with an angry client, you want to assess what's going on, because the client isn't always right. Now, if the client is wrong, or you feel that they're in the wrong, now you don't just straight up tell them they're wrong. It's going to piss them off, and no one likes to be told they're wrong. But you want to politely remind them of the results that they've been able to achieve with you, or the results that you've gotten for them. Now, if you've got numbers, you should be keeping numbers on these things so you can actually show progress and not have it be a debate. Numbers don't leave any questions or doubts. It proves that you got from a point to another point. So make sure you have those and you can prove the benefits, and remind them of the benefits and the value that it's bringing to their business. Now, another big one is you want to remind them of the transformation that they've gone through since working with you. Now, the transformation can be as small as losing some weight or as big as making multi-millions of dollars for their business. So you just need to remind them of the transformation and where they were before they started working with you, so they don't want to, of course, regress back to that state, unless, of course, they are right and you aren't holding up your end of the bargain and you're just costing them money. Then here's what you need to do. You want to chart a plan to correct your mistakes fast. Figure out how to clearly get there and lay out the steps for your client. Now, of course, if you're meeting them face to face or getting them on the phone, this is where you can start to lay out your plan. And you want to reaffirm your commitment to getting results for that client. Again, some people just want the reassurance or that little bit of love from the people that they're working with to assure them that they actually care and that their money isn't being wasted. Now, again, back to the number part, it really depends on what you're selling. And some of us don't sell things that are tied directly to numbers, but you still want them to remember and think about the transformation, because people don't want to go back. If you're helping them legitimately make progress, remind them of that so they want to continue down that same path. All right, so back to what we talked about in the beginning. After you have charted a path to get to where you want to go, and the client has agreed to this, and now you are on good terms because you've mapped that out, you want to reestablish your expectations. Now, doing this in the beginning and on an ongoing basis is helpful. But again, at this point where the client's unhappy and you're helping them transition to stop being unhappy with you, you want to just remind them of the expectations, what they can expect from you, what you're going to need from them. That way there's no confusion and they know what to expect, so they aren't unhappy with the results, or so they can be satisfied when you reach a certain milestone that was promised. All right, so once you have this all done, it's time to act fast and make adjustments. So of course you want to get on top of this right away. Want to make sure that whatever plan you've laid out, you are starting the initial steps right away, and that you're keeping the client informed all along the way so they feel like you're making progress quickly and getting on top of it. But here's the kicker. You also need to know when it's time to say goodbye. Sometimes you could have a great client, but they might just not be paying you enough and be expecting the world from you. Other times you might not be able to get a result for a client, and that's just the way it is, and you have to part ways. So you want to be able to know and be comfortable to walk away with your head up, not cause a scene, get into a fight. This isn't a breakup like you're in high school. This is a professional relationship, and if it's not working out, you need to be the bigger person sometimes, understand that and see that, and take the opportunity to exit the relationship so you can go find people who you're happier to work with and you can actually get results for. So I hope some of these tips has helped you. These have helped me in the past when I've had clients who are unhappy, to keep them on board and keep them in my business and then turn them into a happy client. And again, it's all about setting those expectations. So if you like this, I want to encourage you to share it with someone who needs to see it. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel or like my page on Facebook. And again, this has been Laptop Empires, episode number 10. I am Brian Downard. Thank you for tuning in.